I just want you to know that this is going to be so much fun.
I'm excited. Thank you
I'm
for
excited
having me.
too.
Let's
This is going to be
do
so
this.
good. I just gotta, make sure it's shared real quick, just so that way everybody kind of knows. Da, 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 da. Hopefully my internet doesn't decide it wants to take itself out in the middle of this, because my internet has been good about that the past few streams I've been able to do. I don't like it. Yeah, let's put that up there. Now I need to go to more Discord. Do you want me to put this in general, or the FC chat?
You can put it in general.
Okay.
People can find it.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah, let's wait for let's see how many comments are going to roll in from Thunder deciding he wants to just talk smack. As good as he is at that. So already up to 6 watching. Hello, everybody. Thunder is toast. Thanks, Fost. Oh, this is already going to be great. Off with people just roasting Thunder, and I'm here for it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of the podcast series. I am your host, Sovereign Eric. And for those of you that are new to watching these podcasts, and those of you that have been here before, let me give you just a quick recap. The goal of this podcast is to learn about the members of the Enkindled Free Company here on Final Fantasy XIV. Today, joining me is our incredible leader who has brought everybody together, along with the other leaders, Prim.
Hi. It's finally happening.
It's finally here. We're here. We've made it this far. And it hasn't blown up in my face yet, so.
We'll see by the end of this.
Oh, it's going to get interesting real fast. Because once we get to chat Q&A, I actually have something I want to bring up, but we've got a ways before we get to that, so. Because this is something that happened yesterday that Did I forget to breathe? No. Maybe. I'm fairly sick. Last Friday, not the Friday we just did, but the Friday beforehand, I was at work and wasn't feeling too terribly well. Shouldn't have been at work, honestly. Ended up coming home about half hour earlier than I was supposed to get out, and took my temperature at a 101.5.
Oh no.
I did not have a Dr.
You're up for this?
Oh, that was last week. I'm back to complete normal now.
Oh, okay.
As Hudon says, Dr. Pepper deficiency. I did not have a deficiency at that moment. I've been downing bottles of water left and right. So I am one hydrated person. But this is not about me. This is about you today. Yeah, last time I said that I had mono and strep. This is true. One of the last times I got really sick, I had mono and strep at the same time, and that was just a terrible time together.
That sounds horrible. Were you sick when we did your episode?
No, I was fine.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
I was. Why am I having deja vu?
One of the last times I was sick was actually, I think I had COVID there for a minute. Beforehand, though, it was funny enough. Last time I got really sick, because sickness likes to build up in my system and then it just takes me out in one hit. But when I was I was down for, when Sen and Sakura got married, my wife and I were there because I was the best man, and my wife became the impromptu maid of honor. During the entire time we were down there for maybe a week, was it close to a week, I want to say, and the entire time I was dying. There's a whole story behind it. I don't want to get into it too much because that's going to take up too much time. Come to find out, when we got home, I had mono and strep at the same time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was terrible.
Well, I'm glad you're better.
Yeah, I lived.
Thank goodness.
It's really funny too because when it was actually just on last Sunday, when I called my boss to let her know I was feeling better to show up to work on Monday. I said, if you were praying for my downfall, you better start praying harder. Only remnant is just a slight cough, but it's not as bad as it was.
Okay, so that was the cough that I've been hearing. Well, I hope you feel better.
It'll pass. It'll pass. A cough is a cough. I'm not dying yet. I'm too stubborn to go down that easy. So, I do want to kind of throw this in there as well as kind of I say shameless plug. It's kind of a shameless plug in my opinion, honestly. I understand that we do get a lot of ads that kind of pop up throughout the streams. On the VODs, however, they don't show up on the ads, so if in the event that an ad does show up, there's not really anything I can kind of do about that. We could like take a pause and then wait for the ad to pass, and then we can keep going. I will leave that kind of up to how everybody else feels about it. The best way to deal with the ads, though, I'm not trying to make this sound callous by any form of the means. The best way to deal with the shameless plugs, for shame, shush, Ian. The best way to deal with the ads is subscribing to, obviously, Twitch and everything, but as even Hoodon just said, the ads even show up with a computer ad blocker, so that's my shameless plug. Let's get into the fun, shall we? So, let's put it on record. We're going to immediately start grilling you with these questions. I'm kidding. I'm not going to be that difficult with you.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, ready, go.
This is an interview process. I'm kidding. It feels like it sometimes, you know.
As I see the ads rolling in.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
And it says 1 of 4.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do.
Speaking of ads.
Yep, thanks, Sidon. There's really nothing I can do about that. Like, it adds in the way that, as a streamer, that kind of just brings in the revenue.
Yeah, and you can't control. Mm-hmm.
The only way to get past the ads is to subscribe. I don't have anything to offer for the tier subscriptions, though. I'm trying to figure out what to offer, but I don't know.
Right, even subscribing now is expensive.
It's as of November 1st. As of November 1st, the tier 1 subscription is going from $5.99 to $7.99 a month.
Oof.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Return the ads or suffer my buffer. Thank you, Ian. That's actually that's a good reference. Kudos, my boy. Kudos. I don't know how long the ads are supposed to run. I know they kind of pop up in intervals, so I don't know, I know that Sen and Sakura obviously can't see the ads because I know that they are subscribed, but I'm not trying to force people to subscribe because I don't want to do that to people. Because, most streamers, they have something to offer to people. I don't know what to offer. My undying love, I guess. It's there. I gotta get better at this whole streaming thing eventually.
Well, I'm watching too, and it looks good now. So I think I can help. We can teamwork it.
All right, cool. Good. So if you're okay, if you want to, once we get like ad breaks that come through, if you want to let me know when an ad break kind of comes in, and we can hold off on what we're talking about, and then we'll resume when the ads are done. So that way people aren't missing out on stuff. Yeah, the VOD will be up on YouTube. I believe I've sent my channel to the chat before. I need to send the Season 2 playlist once that gets done. All VODs that come off of Twitch get uploaded 48 hours after the stream. So this will be on YouTube Monday. Because I have to wait an actual 24-hour period, but then I just like to give it a 48-hour period just to be safe. So, we're through the ads, though, yeah?
We're ready to go.
All right. So, tell me, what is your name?
Most call me Prim. My official name is Primrose Lux. I've been around since 2.0. You can take a shot every time I say 2.0. That's the
I got a bottle of water right
unspoken
here. We're ready.
rule. Yes, shot of water, whatever your choice.
Don't do alcohol. We might have people going to the hospital.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. That's a bad idea.
Yes. And the reason for that name was from Hunger Games, from Primrose Everdeen.
Ah.
Uh,
I
I
was
guess
actually
there's
gonna.
also Primrose from some anime, but that's not where that's from.
I don't know which one. But that's actually really interesting. That's actually something I do want to. I need to throw into the questioning is your character name and where it came from.
Uh-huh.
Because I could go on a whole list on how I created my name, but I'm not doing that. My episode's already dead and done. We're moving on. So, the job that you made the most, because I know you go through a lot of different jobs.
I do. Yes. I love healers. White Mage, I played for a very long time. Actually, I think it was my only job up through Heaven's Ward, Stormblood. Uh, if Kyle's in, if Kyle's watching, he remembers I was the very difficult person where that's all that I had and everyone had to adjust to me because it's the only job that I had.
Right.
And I didn't realize how annoying that was until later. And then I started playing other jobs. But I usually like playing a healer, and Black Mage is my DPS love, but not learning a fight on Black Mage. It is very difficult, so I will not do that. But now I also really like tanking with friends. But Paladin is very fun too. I like trying new things now, depending on how much energy I have. I will say now, when I'm tired, I tend to play certain jobs, depending how much energy I have.
I absolutely agree to that. My most go to when it comes to like, do I just want to kind of get through this? I'll just go to samurai because I know samurai very. It's a very brain dead job for the most part. That's Hudon's words as well because he's the same way. Uh, Kudos to you also for healing because I could never. And also uh, taking Black Mage because I struggled with Black Mage at least. Well, like okay, so getting Thaumaturge up to 30 was fine. I have not moved Black Mage anywhere past level 30 because I know the chaos it will become, and I'm not looking forward. And I'm just like, nah, I'm good. He says, I think I'll be over here.
And now I can't love any other job more than that.
According to Sakura, that Ian has found the layout for Black Mage, and he says it's pretty good. That's a good thing.
Hmm.
Ian
You
is
have to
also.
keep,
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, you have to just keep playing it. I think that there are some jobs, if you don't have the muscle memory, then it makes it harder. And Black Mage is one of those. You need the layout and the muscle memory.
Oh yeah, and he
Other
plays
ones
on
you can fall back
controller.
into it.
Was playing on keyboard and mouse because I was playing on my computer. And then when I switched over to PS4 and then eventually PS5, like I've been on keyboard mouse since. I've kind of messed around with controller a little bit, but I don't know how he does it.
Can I admit something to you?
Go on.
I am the opposite. I cannot keyboard mouse to save my life.
And that's
I
fine.
just,
Hey,
I can't.
it's certain games to me work better with a keyboard and mouse than a controller. This is a little join us controller users. No, stop it. It's fine. Don't encourage her. Thanks, Lost. This is a little a bit odd, but an old friend of mine and I, we used to play a lot of Terraria together on PC. Well, then I got it on console and I tried playing with controller. And I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I just could not do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I would always be like, "Nah, I'm going back to keyboard for this." That's a terrible idea. So this is actually something I don't fully know about you myself. I think I know kind of snippets from what I've seen, but I've never actually, I think in the years that we've known each other, I've never actually asked, what is your actual job?
Oh, yeah, we've never really talked about it, huh? My actual job is I'm a psychotherapist. So more specifically, I'm now officially, since this past Monday, a licensed marriage and family therapist. I passed my last test. That's why I was so busy past summer, because I was studying for this really big test. That's why I wasn't very active on 14, because I had to pass my very stressful test. So
Everybody give her a round of applause in chat right now.
thank you. Thank you very much. It was
Like,
very stressful.
like, that's seriously impressive. Like, that, congratulations. Seriously.
Thank you. I had like 10 seconds on the clock. It was a 4-hour test. It felt like 2 hours. And after I submitted it with like less than 10 seconds to go, the proctor was like waving at me to get up from the chair, and my legs were jello because I just could not get up. I didn't take a break at all, and he's like waving at me to get up and go, and I could not get up because I had just so much adrenaline trying to make sure I submitted it in time, or none of the hard work that I did in the past. Very grateful.
And hey, and you don't have to do it again. I don't think. I don't actually know,
Yes.
but
Yes. The hard part is over. The associateship, the hours. I just have to maintain my license now. But that still, of course, I have to do everything right, keep up with my license. But yeah, you're right. The hard stuff's over.
and that's always the hardest part is like the maintaining the license part. That's going to be the easiest part. It's just like, oh, just got to make sure this is okay. But I could not imagine if you had to like redo that like every few years. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. And
like
I'm
to,
not normally a very anxious person, but I can understand why people get so anxious taking that test. It's the beast in and of itself.
and,
I'm glad it's
and
over.
right. And in the time that I've known you, because you and I have known each other now for what's it been now? At least what
A
five, six
good
years?
while.
A good while, a few
Yeah.
years now.
Hmm.
You've I've never known you to be a very anxious person. I've always known you as this like on like head like this head first like ongoing like very bright vibrant person.
Oh, thank
Headstrong.
you.
That's the word I'm looking for. Wow, my brain is just.
Not ditzy? I'll take it.
It's a
I'll
oh,
take it.
Thunder's here. We're in trouble now. Ah, shit.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's
It's
happening.
not too
Thunder's
late
here.
to ban him.
It's he's already been a member. I can't really do that. You know, it'd be rude. Bring it on. Let's go. Oh, thank you, Thunder. I miss you, buddy. So I think Ray touched on this a little bit when we did her interview so long ago now. Um, how
Hmm.
it has it been a full year since we did Ray? I don't think it has been. No, has it? Hold up.
Feels like it,
No,
since hers was the first one.
that was a different playlist. I need to find kind playlists. Here we are. 7 months ago. Wow. How's it been 7 months?
Wow.
How's it been 7 months? Uh, I think she touched on it a little bit, but I believe if my memory is correct, you are one of the founding members of Kind.
Mm. Well, she actually um, founded, it was called
Yeah.
Dark Souls back then. And then she took a break from 14 and gave it to me. Um, which is a pattern. For some reason, I end up taking people's like guilds FC. I played this mobile game and I ended up becoming the guild leader of that. And I don't
Oh,
know how I end up.
I have to know what game is it because I've been in the same scenario.
I know. And then I end up just I do it. I don't give it to someone else. I end up just absorbing that and becoming guild leader of that. And
You
then,
said- are,
you and I have talked about my charity work. I
oh yeah.
lead that too. So,
Oh,
yeah, I
are
think I
you
have
able
a
to see the
problem.
chat at all? By the way,
I haven't been looking down.
it's I just didn't know if you could see it because Fost Ray found it dark using herself and her alts.
Her
Just
alts
cracked
came
me up.
after. But yes, I took it over after she took a break. Cookie's here and says hello.
Oh, hello, Cookie.
Um, and then I didn't have any plans to turn it into what it is today, but with a few people like Cami was a big reason why it ended up staying alive because for a long time, I don't know if people really know this, it was very, very dead in the FC. We hadn't changed the name. I think it was still dark. It wasn't enkindled at the time. It was very dead. I did a lot of stuff with Jolly. Jolly has always been named Jolly. Kyle knows this. And there was a point, I don't know if Cammy was there yet, Cammy or more. Sis was still on a break, but I had talked to them about dismantling the FC and absorbing into Jolly because it was so dead. And I had no plans to build up the FC because there really wasn't anybody active. There were maybe just a few people. Um, and it almost did happen, I think, right, Kyle? Um, I think I was even raiding with Jolly. I don't, my memory is really bad around that time. It was like Heaven's Word-ish. But then we had, I think Sis came back for a little bit. My memory's bad, so forgive me if my timeline's wrong. But more joined, Cammy was more active, and then just more people ended up becoming more active. And then slowly but surely, it just really grew. And then over the years, it became even busier. And then it blossomed into what it is, today. And even over the years, Sabin, you've seen just, events we would have every week. Um, yeah, and it's become something super beautiful. And then, of course, along the way, we changed the name, we added leaders, more became co-leader. So it's really grown a lot since then.
And see, I don't think I ever knew it when it was dark because when I started playing 14 myself, I joined around I want to say middle to end of Stormblood. I think it
Mm-hmm.
was around the middle of Stormblood is when I started playing 14, thanks to Zebo.
Yes.
Which that's a question I'm going to ask later about him because I have to know. Uh, I have to know how you guys met because that's just going to be I know it was through 11, so
Yes.
but I never knew it as dark. I've always known it as kind, unless it was dark for a minute. I don't remember fully because
Yes.
again that was so long ago that I joined.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that like nothing against Jolly because the members that we have from Jolly that are our great next door neighbors, which I'm seriously thinking we should add them to this whole podcast idea because that would be great.
Oh, yeah, that's the plan.
Oh, we're already in. That's all right. I need to be in the loop on this. I'm giving a hard time. But I'm glad that it. Nothing against Jolly. I'm glad it just didn't kind of get absorbed in and that it is its own standalone thing, because Jolly is its own standalone thing, and now we have the Enkindla as its own standalone thing, and we are, if we're, it's, as I mean this is a joke, but it's also kind of not a joke. We are quite literally the Jolly Enkindle, and
Hmm.
because we work so closely with them, it's it's incredible. Like we are a very close knit family,
Hmm.
and uh, yeah, I'm glad it didn't get absorbed. I'm glad that we are a very strong, close knit family that has grown and is continuing to grow as we speak. Uh, and it's nice that we always get all these new members that come in with different experiences with the story, what it means to them, and everything.
Yeah,
It's so nice.
I know. We're like all grown up, and both of our SCs have been around at least 10 years now.
That's not an inaccuracy though.
No, it's true. Our
It's
houses are too small for this. And we get to have fun. I think what's great about having each other as neighbors is like we get to share the love.
oh yeah.
Even if that love is sometimes unrequited, like the time that um, someone put up the big Moa statues and the other put up cannons facing each other, and I had to talk to Kyle and apologize. And it was like a whole thing, but he totally got it, and it was fine.
So that we started it. Oh, I wish I could have seen that. That'd have been hilarious. Oh, that I loved that. Wow. Um,
It was all in good fun, Kyle. It was. I don't even know how it happened. Someone made a joke,
did
and
did
next thing
somebody
you
upset
know, we
Cammy?
pointed cannons at you guys.
Did somebody upset Cammy? Because I feel like with the work that Cammy does in the house, I feel like she set that one up.
Yeah, I don't even remember. It was like a few years ago, and I remember getting online and seeing the cannons, and then I think it was Suna who put up the statues to block the cannons, and then I was like, okay, take those down. And I had to talk to Kyle to make peace.
It was probably more. I could see it.
I think it was more.
I could
I had to
see
tell
more
him.
doing it because more will start war, and that's unintentional rhyming, but more will start a war. Um,
Yeah, and we love Jolly so much that we sent Kranos like a bunch of Tengu dolls because he said he loves them. So we flooded his mailbox with them, and he was really grateful for them.
oh, that's great.
Yeah, we look out for our neighbors. Instead of cups of sugar, we give them Tengu doll minions because that's what neighbors do.
That's what neighbors do. So, uh, your favorite dungeon. Now we have to also keep in mind that some listeners
Oh,
have not gotten through uh, part. I want to say parts of Endwalker. So just keep that in mind that we do have. I think there are a couple people that have listened that haven't gotten through Endwalker fully yet. At least through main
oh.
story. When it comes to post story, like, well, obviously post story, we got to keep a on that. But favorite dungeon.
Is this the four-man? I guess I should have
Yes.
been more prepared for this, huh?
That
I
happens.
should let you know whenever someone asks my favorite anything, I'm pretty bad at picking unless I'm very strongly for something. Nothing really stands out to me as like a favorite. Um, I will tell you my least favorite.
Oh, please tell me how it's Orem Vale.
Oh, you already knew that, huh? Oh,
It's
just
actually being serious.
uh, yes, and it's just because it says so much about how people manage the first room. You either have a tank who doesn't look and see who their healer is, maybe it's a new person, and then they'll just pull the entire room and then get mad at the new healer. Or it's like a healer who's experience level 100 and there's a new tank and then they yell at the tank for not pulling the whole room. So it's always a mess.
It
Um,
it really is because
it's a
as I
disaster.
think with when we did Sakura's episode, I mentioned that it was Ormville, as I've always called it, is healer hell
Yeah.
because it is either a nightmare for the healer because they have a tank that runs in and doesn't know what they're doing, or it's because they have a tank or their healer is kind of new to it and doesn't fully kind of like some mechanics aren't fully known yet. It's more 9 times out of 10 I've always seen with Ormville. It's healer that or not healer. It's tank that just runs in.
Yeah. And it's not very friendly because every some of the mobs are moving back and forth. You can't also just grab a few because they're also still making their way to you anyway. So you're kind of at an impasse. You kind of have to commit.
Right.
So it puts you in an awkward position, and you have very limited skill. It's like 40, like late 40s, so you don't have your 50 skills. Um, and then, you have levels where like tanks don't know you could use arm's length to help with big groups, right? So those little things that can help a lot. Um, so yeah, it can get kind of messy. So that's my least favorite. But nothing stands out to me as like a favorite. Any favorite of mine is one that we can just get through smoothly and people are nice to each other.
I
I
get
will
it.
say that's a favorite.
Do you have a favorite trial by chance?
Ooh, favorite trial? Favorite trial. I should have thought about this a little bit more. Um, favorite trial.
If need be, we can always go. We can always move on to the next one if that's if it. Or we can go on to
Okay.
like least favorite, like which one of all the trials that you've faced so far, like which one you don't like the most. Obviously, for those that haven't gone into Dawn Trail, hi, that's me. Don't spoil anything on that one.
Okay. Yeah. Um, I actually really like doing like trials and normal roulette a lot. So there's not many that I don't like doing. I will say there is one I don't like. I won't spoil it. It's the newest one in the Gilgamesh line. Because I don't get the darn mechanics for it.
Amazing.
I
Uh,
die every time, so I won't spoil which fight that is. But that one gets me every
Amazing.
time.
Uh,
Yeah,
now I
kills
have
me
to know.
religiously.
Now I have to know. Alliance raid.
Ooh,
The 20,
favorite?
the 24 man.
Oh, okay, this is gonna sound weird. I love World of Darkness. I know most people don't like it, but I really love that one.
See, I don't have an
Especially
issue
when it
with
was
World of
current.
Darkness. And I don't have an issue with World of Darkness. It's Labyrinth of Ancients is arguably the one that's just kind of like a okay, kind of one that
That
kind
one
of get
was
through
fun
of
when it
that.
was current.
Right. Now which
Um,
one do you not like?
um, this is maybe it sounds weird. I don't really like the newer Alliance Raid ones. I love the concept.
Because
I
the
just
new
feel
Alliance raids
like
are based on 11, aren't they?
that's the one coming. I'm so
Oh,
excited for
okay.
those. But I mean, in the newer ones that are out, based on the gods, I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
they are too easy, I guess. Like I love Halone. I love Valkyries. Like those I live for that. If I could transform into anything, I fangirl about Valkyries. Um, but I wish that they had done more, especially because like these are our gods, right? Essentially.
Yeah,
And I feel like if you look at past Alliance raids, I mean, it was Wipe City with Labyrinth of the Ancients. Even Circus Tower, when it was current content, it was wiping all the time. Now it's a different story, don't get me wrong. Copied Factory, Dunscape, you still wipe all the time. I forget who I was with. Was it Thunder and Sis? Um, that one was crazy. You still wipe in there like crazy. But the ones now, I feel like it was a bit too easy, so I wish they did them a little more justice. So I'm hoping with the new ones coming out, um, especially because it's an 11 crossover and I'm a fan of Final Fantasy 11, I look forward to that. But yeah, those are my least favorite, not because of the concept, but just because of the
the
easiness.
difficulty.
Alliance raids are, yeah, it's I guess just in concept, having 23 other players, you could essentially just survive. But in the past ones, you needed, each group to do their thing properly to
Right.
make it through.
And I do agree, like, difficulty wise, like the entire alliance raid with the 12 was, it didn't feel as difficult as say the Ivalice raids or very early like Crystal
Right.
Tower raids. But if the one thing I can say that I absolutely love about the 12 raids is that it is absolute, they are absolutely beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
A total
locations and everything are
homage to
just,
them.
it is just beautiful. Though
Yeah.
there is one particular boss, I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head because it's been a while since I've done it. It's in the first set of the raids with the 12. That it's when you're fighting on the giant stone hand.
The hand. Oh, I haven't been doing a good job at looking at the ads. It's like halfway through ads.
Oh, so it
Look at
doesn't
me.
notify me. It doesn't notify me on my end. Um,
Yeah.
my
Okay.
personal thing with the one where you're fighting on the giant stone hand. I can't remember which god that is.
Ralger. Yeah,
Yeah,
Trial says
Ralger.
it's Ralger.
Yeah, Ralger. I can never ever telegraph correctly when I'm supposed to be standing at a finger because I get punched off all the damn time. You'll see me standing there 1 second, next second I'm flying off going, well, here I go. Now, we've talked about alliance raids.
Yes.
The normal raids, such as Alexander and Omega and
Yes.
Eden. Now, another thing too, I know there might be a couple people that haven't. A lot of these, like, I don't want to try to spoil anything for like other people that haven't experienced them quite fully yet, uh, because I know that we have some people that haven't made it through Endwalker, or at least all of Endwalker, and then parts here and there. But your favorite of the alliance, or not the alliance, of the normal raids. Now it could be either one part
Yeah.
of the raid itself, or it could be the entirety of the raid.
Yeah. Actually, the one that stands out to me most that I really like are the brother and sister, is it Sigma? Sigma Escape?
Yeah,
It's a close one. It's them because I really like how you have to watch your debuff and paying attention to
oh, for
those.
the last one in the Omega raid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, but I will also say I really like, I hope this isn't a spoiler, the Kefka one,
Oh, Kef.
because
I.
yeah, I
Uh,
adore him. He's such a bad boss.
Here's a fun
Like,
fact. Very recently, so if it's no surprise that I'm a huge fan of of Final Fantasy. I have been for many years.
Hmm.
When the Pixel remasters came out for what I call basically the Sprite era,
Uh-huh.
that I have platinumed Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I am currently working on the platinum for 6.
I saw you've been playing that, and I'm
Oh,
excited for you.
I'm going. But the problem is I now have to make a second file because I missed 2 bestiary entries.
I hate
One,
that. Yeah.
so if you've played through 6, right?
Yeah.
Uh, in the battle for Narsh, when you're basically trying to protect the Esper,
Hmm.
there's one of the enemies, it's called the Hunting Hound, has a 25% spawn rate in any one of those fights. I
I
didn't
did
know
not know
that.
that.
I didn't know it either until I looked it up and I went, well, I have to make a new save for that. And then after you leave the Magitech research facility, uh, there is an encounter with an enemy called the Chaser that you have to get on basically like this single walkway like path before you turn a corner, and then Setzer picks you up in the blackjack and you leave the Imperial capital.
Yes.
I missed that one too. So I have to go through the game to get to that point. It's like, come on. Just make this
Wow.
easy for me. Your least favorite normal raid?
Um, I don't really have one. I'm such a fan of trials and normal that, like, I will sometimes just queue for them, even with having done my roulette, just because I really enjoy it. Like, mentor roulette is my favorite because I like just getting the spiciness of whatever I'll get because I like trials and normal that much.
I don't see an issue with that. I mean, like, we all have a favorite of everything that we like to do.
Yeah,
Um,
that's mine.
I wish this is just me personally. I wish they would expand a little bit more on the main scenario roulettes myself, because
Oh,
your
bless
odds
you.
of I know, right? Uh, because and I've brought this up to Hudon actually. Funny enough, that he and I believe Sakura have it a little bit easier because they have the version of Praetorium where it wasn't basically an hour long and they
Mm.
had to sit through a slog of cutscenes for all of it.
It's much better now.
It is.
And I don't know if people remember when they used to have MSQ where people could skip actually through the cutscenes, and people who were watching the cutscenes, they would be like left behind in the very beginning because everyone
Uh huh.
else would just zoom through, and it used to be like 8 man, I think at the time.
Yeah,
So
it used to be.
these newbies would be in the very beginning
Like,
because
where'd
everyone
everybody
else would be
go?
gone. Yeah, that was
As
great.
Hudon said in chat, what I love getting the Praetorium every damn time. It's true. This poor man, every time he does MSQ, always Praetorium. Maybe
Oh,
not always, but majority of the time it's Praetorium. But it used to be so
yeah, I
worth it
can't.
doing Praetorium because it's like, okay, yeah, I have to sit through like a slog of cutscenes, sure, but I'm getting a million experience. I don't care.
I can't. I can't
We
do
used to
it.
organize FC runs for the newbies so they could actually watch the cutscenes because otherwise everyone people would skip every time. Yeah, that's a great idea though.
Yeah, yeah.
I can confirm though when this was before when it was all the cutscenes everything when it wasn't split up between this and this where it was all just one big deal. It was during the cutscene where you're on the elevator and Gaius is going on his whole entire shtick of like, oh, for whom do you serve and this that and the other. I got up and went and made an entire like 3-course meal, came back and he was still talking, and I was like, dude, this took me like 10 minutes. What the hell are you doing? But now
Still going, huh?
he's still monologuing, huh? And we haven't stopped this. Nobody said the Warrior of Light was all that there. It's so. Moving on. Are you telling me that you don't like 7.5-minute monologues? Look, I'm just saying. No, at the time I actually didn't mind it because it gave me a chance to actually get up and kind of like stretch the legs and be like, all right, time to make some food. Man loves to hear his own voice. That's fair. Uh, Now this is a new segment that I've added in for season 2 and kind of ongoing seasons until I decide that I'm going to kind of rearrange these a little bit more. Which there will be new stuff added between seasons for these questions, because obviously as the game evolves, the questions must evolve. So I can't ask about the hopes for Dawn Trail because Dawn Trail is here. Uh, so this little segment is about Prim. So, and now as you can, as I'm sure you're looking at the questions on your end as well. Um,
Oh, I should do that, huh?
I figured you were. That's okay. It's okay. So tell us 3 things. It could be anything. It's completely up to you on how personal you want them to be. Tell us 3 things about yourself that you would love for everybody to know. For those that don't obviously know you on a very personal level.
Hmm.
So tell us 3 things that about you that you feel like the people should know about you.
Okay. Um, I don't know if I have three, but I do have
However many you want to share.
two. Okay, I think two. Those are the two things that stand out the most. The first is I care about all of you. And I know that sounds really cheesy, but I wouldn't do all of this stuff, like leading the FC, investing the time behind the scenes, checking in, putting in like the work. I wouldn't do any of that. I wouldn't be here for 10 plus years if I didn't enjoy being around all of you. You're all so much fun. Some of you I've known for so long. Some of you have been such great support to me. Like Kyle, I've known you for years. All of you have been wonderful. And I really do care about all of you, especially the ones that I've really, gotten to know. Some of you know my very personal stories, why I do what I do, which I'll also share. I think that's like my number two. But I think as you guys get to know me, if you haven't, I think that's something that maybe not everybody knows is that I genuinely care about all of you. I'm not saying I care about all of you like 110% because I don't know all of you as like deeply as I know maybe some of you that I have over the years. Um, except for Thunder. Thunder. Just kidding, Thunder.
He even actually asked in chat, like, even me, even I'm wonderful? Give the man hope and just
Thunder,
shoot
you
it
give
down.
me a
Damn.
headache. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I do just want you guys to know that you guys have made my time in 14 here amazing, and I appreciate all the fun memories and the good times we have. The raiding, the goofing around, all of this happens because of you. So that's something that I wanted to share. I don't just do it just to do it, but I'm motivated because of all of you. And then the second, which I think more of the closer people know. I know Sovereign knows this, but a lot of the reason why you guys have, and I think why I care also so much about you guys is, and why you have all been support to me in your own ways, is you've helped me through tough times too. So the people closer to me know that mentally you guys have helped me. I don't often share this part of me. But I'm happy to share it because I like the segments in here. But a big part of why I became a therapist is because I lost my dad to suicide. And I know last time, Sovereign, you shared a little bit about your story, and I think that's why I really appreciate you sharing it during Mental Health Month. Um, so I appreciate that you sharing that. But when I lost my dad, it was a moment that really changed my life. And so part of why you guys have been great support to me is it's helped me kind of find who I am as a person. if any of you met me, I think 10 years ago, maybe some of you who know me that long, you might have known me as like this very just like quiet, soft-spoken, very just like, yes, I'm okay, I'm fine. But now you guys know me as like, well, I don't know, maybe I'm still the same. Maybe I'm just fooling myself. I don't know.
I
But
don't think
now
so.
I feel okay, good. I appreciate that. But now I feel like I can just be who I am and you guys see me for who I am. So part of that too is not just because of the work I've done with my own growth, but also to have good support like you guys. So I think those are the two things I would love for you all to know about me. For those who don't already know that. Oh, I have the third thing too, is that I have Biscuit and Cookie, but you guys probably already know about them too. Well, actually, if you don't, I don't post about them often. Some of you guys might know Biscuit. He is my 15-year-old grumpy guy, but we recently rescued Cookie. I'll post a picture of them later. Um, but they are both menaces now because they bark at all the dogs. So now when we walk them, they're both dogs, but now when we're both out, they bark at everything. It's great. Great
Correct me
for
if I'm wrong.
them.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't they
Yes.
both the same kind of breed of dog, or am I just thinking?
They are.
As I say,
Yeah, they're
I thought
both
they were
like a
both.
Maltese mix.
Yeah, because I've seen pictures of them. Because I know you've kind of posted a few pictures here and
Yes.
there. Um,
Yes, yes.
what's the thing? Yeah, is
Yeah.
now correct me if I'm wrong. Is Biscuit the one that is missing an eye?
He's a pirate. Yes.
I tread lightly with that kind of thing because I'm just like I don't want to be wrong. Just like it's just like look, it's a thin ice, thin ice. You know, I'm kidding. Um,
Yeah, he's a pirate. He's 15. It's funny because everyone's like, oh my gosh, he's so cute, but he's actually the grumpier one. He's
that's
like, don't touch me.
don't touch me. I think you might have seen it in the Sif's furry friends part of the chat. I recently posted a picture of one of our cats. Our cat that we adopted last year. His name is Lucky, or we call him Little Demon or Terrorist if we really want to get spicy with it, because he is a menace. Oh, this child is a menace. We love him, but he has two older siblings. We have Donna, who we adopted a few years ago, and we have my boy Monster, who is 8 years old as of this year, who is.
Who is naming your pets?
Okay, so when I got Monster, I was living by myself. Lady on a local group was kind of like, she said, I have kittens. I kind of want to just rehome them. I always wanted a cat of my own, and honestly, having a cat in a one-bedroom apartment, to come home to something when you live by yourself is something that it helps the mind from wandering to
Hmm.
dangerous
Hmm.
places. And so when we got him, I was kind of holding him, and he just fell asleep right in my arms. Like, oh, he's kind of chill. So I named him Chill. And then I made a joke because my uncle always said that he had a dog named Dude. So I was like, no, his name is Dude in honor of my uncle's dog. And I said, no, I'm gonna mix the two. I'm gonna name him Chill Dude because I apparently can't decide. And then my mom had come over like a few days later as he's running around just being a menace as a kitten is. And she's like, "Oh, look at him. He's a little monster." And I went, That's it. That's his name."
Monster.
Yep. Monster is my big fluffy boy. He's just he's I could send a picture of him right now over to you, like to you over Discord. You could look in his eyes. You can see there's nothing going on upstairs. Like
I
there
want to
is.
see.
I will send you a picture. Like
I love
this boy.
pictures like that.
This boy, you could tell, like you look at him and you're just like, yeah, there's nothing going on upstairs inside that head. He's just, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's a very special boy. I'll send you two. I'll send you one that it's kind of an up close picture of him where you can really see like that there's nothing going on up in his head. The other one is just how he was laying one morning, or one day after I got home from work, and I was like, "How are you comfy like this?" And there you go. I've just sent them over. They've just been sent over.
Oh, he's so cute. He looks grumpy.
Oh, he's the grumpy old man. Yeah, he did kind of hiss at Sakura when they were visiting. He's a little touchy about some things. I don't fully know what it is. Like he's so touchy about. But funny enough, when I adopted him, he was the only male of an entire litter of females.
He looks
Like
perfect. I
it,
don't know what you're talking about.
like
Plenty of thought behind those eyes.
That's actually not a good enough picture to show like there's just nothing going on back there. I have a different one. I'll send it later though, because obviously I want to keep going with this. I'll send it later. And the cat, yeah, Monster absolutely loves Hudon. It's great. We have many streams where you can hear Hudon talking to Monster and basically asking him please not to step on his lap. Because he's good about that. He puts all of his weight down. He's a 12-pound cat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's a
That's
big boy. He's a very big boy. He's a very fluffy boy, too. Like, all the floof hides everything. Donna is our... Oh, he absolutely is. He is a pure loaf. Donna is our absolute sweetheart. She loves attention. Yep, and Donna was absolutely Sakura's snuggle buddy because she just loves attention. Lucky, however, that cat concerns me at times because this will be kind of before we move on to the next segment. Lucky likes to wake people up in strange ways. Like most of the time with my wife, he'll like stand or like lay on her chest and start like licking her like nose and start like kneading like on her chest. And it's just like, yeah, easy with the claws, buddy. He woke me up one morning in the strangest way. Oh, God, good. Sushi's a 20-pound cat? Wow. Awesome. Lucky's only... I don't know how much Lucky weighs. My wife would be able to tell me, but she's currently occupied at the moment. He decided one day, because one morning, that he wanted to wake Dad up, Dad being me, by biting my toe.
Excellent.
He just randomly came up, just bit my toe, and I sat up. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I sat up and I went, "What is wrong with you?" And he ran off, and I went, "Get back here." Oh, I love him, but it's questionable what goes on with him. But, so now we're going to get to the next part. Yes, this is Sakura. I remember you texting that. Now comes the part we'll spend some time. We'll spend a good, let's say, like 10 to 20 minutes or so. Maybe 10. We'll start with 10 and we'll see kind of how it goes. Now comes the part with the chat Q&A, where everybody in the chat can ask Prem a question. Keep in mind, though, that try to keep it not too terribly personal. And again, Prem, you are completely within your right to answer any question that you want.
Sure.
So, any questions for Prem? Now is the time. The floor is open for the chat to ask questions. As I'm trying to figure out where my next bottle of water is at. There it is. Since this podcast has started, we've been doing this for an hour.
I won't answer any question from
First of all, how dare you? So first of all, how dare. Thanks, Thunder Buddy. I love how we thought that entire episode with Thunder was going to be Battle of the Thunders. But it wasn't. It was actually
Can
us
we just talk about why Thunder bullies me? Like, what did I do to him? I talked about how much I appreciated all of you, and when chat Q&A opens, the first thing he says is, "First of all, how dare you?" If my sister saw this, she would be livid.
Speaking of Ray, I'm actually surprised that she isn't here right now.
Well, because if she saw this from Thunder,
No, Thunder wouldn't be in the chat anymore. uh, so, actually, I'll ask that one actually after the fact, because that one, I feel like that one's a tad personal. Um, Actually, yeah, I want to actually get to my next question. How did you and Zebo meet? There's my question.
we actually met through my sister, through 11.
Thunder, what the hell? Sorry.
Thunder, you're a speed velocity. You
Hold on, are we
see?
talking an African or a European swallow thunder? I know the
He's
reference.
such a menace.
He is.
That's
So,
why I have to bug him to make his events because he forgets. And then this past week, because we had a couple of events, I wanted to make sure his was on the list. And I made his because he was late, as usual. And I made his event and I put pizza is not toast. And I told him he was so bothered by it, huh, Thunder?
pizza is not a toast. uh,
But he didn't change it. And he knows he can change it. He just left it there.
he just wants to start fights with people, man. I'm just saying. Just go back to the Zebo question. you,
Thank you, Seth,
sorry.
for correcting him.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, for Zebo. We met through Sis in 11. Um, well, I guess that's it.
well, that's a simple question.
Yeah. And then they were talking more, and I think she invited him to the FC when he came to play 14.
And then, funny enough, I
The
actually
rest
met.
is history.
I want to say I met you and Ray in 11 first before I came over to 14.
Did we really? You see,
I
you
don't
mentioned
remember.
that, but I don't remember that.
Well, because I know that maybe because he was helping me level up. Because I was leveling up Paladin, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he was helping me level up. And I thought that maybe he just had a bunch of like summons with him or something, because you could summon like a bunch of different characters in the game. Maybe he had just a bunch of people, because I swore that he introduced at least you and me in 11, but maybe it was actually once I finally made the jump over to 14 is when he goes, hey, I have someone I want you to meet. Just the same way I did with Sen, the same way that I think Sen actually introduced you and Sakura. I could be wrong on that one. I know it wasn't me that
Yeah.
brought Sakura in. And then I introduced you to Hudan.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we were in Mordona when I introduced you to Hudan.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because I saw you come online and I went, Prim!
And I think at the time Hudan was just trying out 14, right?
Yeah.
If I remember right, he wasn't planning
He
to
was in the free
fully
trial
play.
stage.
Ah, okay, okay.
He was in the free trial stage, and then I'm sure there's going to be a comment about it. I got him hooked on the game. Like, he plays it every day.
Excellent.
You're welcome, buddy. But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's actually interesting because, and here's the thing is too. It's that the world kind of is a bit of a small place. Get bent, thanks, buddy. That had I worked at the hotel. That's where I met Hudan. That's where I met Zebo. Zebo introduced me to you, and then
Mm-hmm.
I've brought my friends in, and it's like, here we are. Technically, I mean, and actually, in a very funny way, technically speaking, my wife is technically a member of the SC too.
Is she? I
She
know you
has
had mentioned.
so she is a member of the FC. Her name is her username is Zenora Sandstrider. But
Hmm.
um, she at the time I was playing on PC, so she was able to play on PlayStation.
Uh-huh.
Because I was playing on PS4 at the time, and she we were kind of running her through like the early stages of the game, but then I don't know what fully happened, and she just kind of stopped playing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Anybody else have questions for for Prim?
I know I haven't gotten any questions.
Well,
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
aside from Thunders,
No, we don't count that.
Thunders over here is feeling attacked.
He always feels that way.
Maybe you're just intimidated. Maybe he's just intimidated by your presence, Prim.
Thunder, am I intimidating?
He's valid.
You should see how he treats me. He's always picking on me.
Ray said the same thing.
Don't
Uh,
trust Thunder. He's mean to me in private. He's
I don't
nice
know.
to
Are
all
you?
of you. He's nice to all of you in person, and then in private, he's so mean to me.
Why would you be mean to Prim Thunder? What did she do to you? Prim is a bean.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's great. Uh, we'll give it a few. We'll give it 3 more minutes. So that way, once we hit the well, it's actually closer about 2. We'll give it a couple
You
more
have
minutes of the.
5 ads now.
Oh shit! I can't control that, or if I can, I don't know how. I'm just over here jamming right now. I'm jamming to a tune that's in my head. What's the tune? I couldn't tell you. It just my brain is like Internet Explorer. I've got 5 different tabs open. 7 of them don't work, and one of them is playing music.
Nice.
Do the math on that one. It doesn't add up. ADHD song. Not that far. I wouldn't go that far. It's like bunch of like random music will just pop into my head. I'll be like, all right, what caused that one to start playing? Are we having fun so far, Prim?
So much fun. I'm glad that we're doing this.
I am too. And to go back actually for a second about the how you mentioned that because when we did my episode, it was during Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We actually had originally planned to do this during back in September,
Yes.
but because it was another Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mhm.
But our scheduling didn't exactly work out the best, and but we made it work. We're here today,
That's what
and I'm
counts.
exactly. And I think we're through the halfway point too, because we only have uh, a few, like just a couple more sets of questions.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and you know I'll kind of leave it a little bit open. We'll continue on. I'll leave it a little bit open if Chad has any questions that they want to ask.
Except Thunder.
Yeah, I know. So obviously you've mentioned that you're a healer. You've played tank. You've kind of done everything. I'm. Is it safe for me to assume that being a healer is your absolute favorite job?
I love it. I do.
Which
Yes. It's
healer?
safe to assume.
Because I know there's 4 different healer classes, so I'd assume white mage or
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not sure which one it actually is. I would assume white mage.
Is my favorite
Yeah,
out of all of them.
of all the healing jobs at least, because I know there's only four, but
Like right now.
just in general. I mean,
Ooh. Um, okay. I will say, in general, I like white mage because it's balanced, but I am really enjoying scholar right now. Um, I wish Astro was better because I really, really like that class. And then, Sage is probably my least favorite. I probably jumped ahead 'cause I'm sure you had
oh
a
no, you're fine.
follow-up question
Yeah,
to
no,
that.
you're fine. The next question is of all the jobs that, because as we've mentioned, that you've played just about every job, um, which job you'd like to at least have a rework?
Dragoon, hands down.
Oh,
Poor
that's
Dragoon.
Dragoon, Machinist, and Dark Knight have probably got to be the top three answers.
Yeah, Dragoon is such a fun class. It has like it looks beautiful. But gosh, it's so clunky. And probably out of all the melee classes, Dragoon is the one I enjoy playing the most. It's just, yeah, it needs help. It has for the last few patches, expansions. Yeah, it needs its time to shine. So I think that's the one that needs a rework. That and Astro. Astro needs help again.
As Hudon says, it feels fun, but the three different rotations are a slog.
And I haven't leveled it to 100, so I don't know what it's like now. But at 90, it still didn't feel good.
That's kind of how I felt about late game Machinist. Like I've only got Machinist, I think, up to like 60 or 70, but it just feels
Hmm.
clunky at that point because it
Hmm.
feels like there's so much other things that you have to worry about doing to maximize your damage.
Hmm.
Like, give me the ability to just hit things really hard. Simple. I'll take it. Now, this is a new little segment because I think we kind of discussed this a little bit when we were setting up for this. Your favorite location in the whole game. Now, I do want to preface leaving Dawn Trail out of it just because obviously some people have not made it to Dawn Trail. We're just going to keep that away.
Yeah.
Your favorite location. Now, it could be multiple locations that you absolutely love. Whichever ones you want to put up, I'm all for it.
Yeah. The churning mists, but the weather has to be when the sky is like lightning and blue. That's one of my very favorite places to hang around in. When the weather's not like that, then I don't care for it. Um, the other is Ultima Thule, where this background music is. It's very pretty, but also because of the music.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes I'll go there and craft, just so I can listen to the music. Um, I also like anywhere. I'm a big fan of fishing because I like being able to sightsee. So that's part of the fun thing I enjoy doing is doing finding fishing spots. So anywhere with like the ocean. So like I know Costa is kind of overrated, but anywhere with like pretty scenery I like looking for. But if I'm AFK, you will probably find me. Now you'll find me in Dawn Trail areas. But before I used to be AFK. If I wasn't in the Free Company house, um, you would find me in the Churning Miss or Ultima Thule.
Speaking about Ultima Thule for a second with the background music,
Hmm.
have you? I showed this to Hadan actually the other day. Actually, probably about a week or two ago now. Have you seen the video of this song with the 1,000 different people singing it?
Chills.
Uh huh.
I love it so
It
much.
it really does show how much like this game has brought everyone together as a community,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just so beautiful.
And Soken is incredible. Not to mention his own like personal, you know, overcoming cancer, but just that expansion was just chef's kiss.
There was
What a
actually
way.
I'll explain this one also after off uh, stream because about this song that I learned actually through a couple people. Um,
Hmm.
but I don't want to spoil it for anybody that obviously hasn't gotten to the point.
Yes, yes.
So, any particular locations that you're not a huge fan of?
Um, no, but I will say I am bored with the housing music, but I like the area. So I know that's not really answering your question.
No, I
I
mean
like
that's
the
that.
location. I'm just bored.
So, like outside of the FC house,
Yes, yes, yes.
I get
Uh-huh.
it. I get it. Uh, I don't. Favorite location wasn't a thing when we did the prior episodes. Um, one of my I'll throw a couple favorite areas of mine up real quick before we get to the topic of discussion. Um, one of my favorites is I like to spend, most of the time if you've ever seen me in game where I'm just kind of like wanting to just relax or something, I'll likely be in the in room in Ul'dah just because it's just like I'm just gonna go
Mm,
hang out there.
mm-hmm.
Um, Most of the time though, I'm ever usually in one of two places. Uh, in the in room in Ul'dah, or I'll be hanging out right outside of this very house.
Yes, I usually see you outside
Yep, I'm
in the
right off the
lawn.
side. I'm right outside off the side of the fence, just sitting there, just looking off at the water. Just this is relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, thanks, Artie. Um, I haven't been, as you clearly tell, I have not been on this account for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being is actually, I'll get to that actually at the end once we've got everything wrapped up. I'll get to that because that's kind of a little bit more of a shameless poke plug kind of thing. Um, the topic of discussion. Do you have one for us today?
Ooh, what does it mean? Topic of
Anything
discussion.
like so. For example, like with ours, like the topic was men's mental health awareness. Anything that you want to bring up. If not, we could just tell some fun stories.
Fun stories.
Just things that we've experienced through life. As I mean, I've explained plenty of mine that I could probably recount many times.
Well, I can tell you guys fun stories.
By all means.
Um, I shameless things since I've got some of you here. Are there things you guys want to do for the FC while we're together? I know.
No,
I'm just
no. I
taking
actually, this is
advantage
actually,
since some of us are together.
if this is the way to bring us together, so that way we can ask these questions, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Patch is coming in a few weeks, mid-November. But I
Together like
mean,
friends.
oh, like friends. There are things people want to do or need. You don't have to answer right away, but if there's something in particular.
I would give an answer, but as I said, I've not been on in a
Hmm.
while, so I don't really have one. Um, I guess I do actually have a question. Are we planning on a Christmas party again this year?
Yes. We usually
Excellent.
do Secret Santa. Maybe a white elephant this year.
I am
We
with
didn't
Thunder
do
on
a
this one, movie
Halloween
nights.
party.
I am
I
with
know.
Thunder on this one. Movie nights would actually be a really fun thing too.
Thunder, weren't you supposed to do movie nights? Weren't you in charge of that?
That he might have been. I don't know. Because I know last year we did the Christmas party where we did the Secret Santa and the costume
Yes.
contest, and then we went over to Goose Goose Duck where Thunder and I really just absolutely went after each other. But if you remember, as I said, and I quote, I am a man of my word. Thunder took me out. I don't care if I do it in front of everyone. He's first. I'm a man of my word.
I did enjoy that when we could play games like that, like Goose Goose Duck. Um, I think I had even bought, it was like an observation game. It was a scary one where like people could just point out what changed and you report it. I forget what it was called. It was observation something.
Huh.
But even a few of us played like Phasmo together, like Nyx was there, Thunder and
Um,
me.
if cause do you mostly do it over PC? I would assume, right?
Yes, but some of them are coming out on console too.
Okay. My option that if we wanted to really kind of throw it up there too, because Hudan and I have done it with my wife, and we've kind of streamed it a little bit here and there. I do have a few options to the Jackbox games myself, like the Jackbox Party Pack,
How fun! Yes, that'd be great.
and some of those games can get up to quite a few people. I think there's one of them in the first pack that I have that can go up to 99 people.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, it's insane. I think it'd be fun. Like, Hudan, oh god, he knows. And we wouldn't have to we could obviously be in like a voice chat or something, and we could easily like be able to, because all you would really need is a computer or a phone to basically join in.
Right, right.
Oh, hi, Lucky. Thank you for coming to
Um,
see me. Hi.
I also know with Jolly, we've been playing, Thunder knows this, we've been playing this game called Blood on the Clock Tower. Sen's joined us before too. It is so much fun. It's like a whodunit game, kind of like Goose Goose, but it's all you need is like a PC with a browser. It's so much fun. Thunder is a menace every single time, so never trust him ever, but it is very
Assuming.
entertaining. I do try to post it when we plan. I think we do it like once a month, but even doing, games outside of 14 has been really fun. I know that was a very long-winded thing, but yes.
No, that's fine. I mean,
Holiday party.
yeah, I absolutely, depending on how scheduling goes this year, I would absolutely love to attend the holiday party again for Christmas because that was such a blast. And also because my
Yeah.
computer is now strong enough to run some things because I finally upgraded the damn thing. So now my computer will be strong enough to actually run it and be able to multitask
Excellent.
because it took
And
me
then I'm
forever to do.
hoping with the new patch stuff, we can try some of those things together for those that are interested in doing it. I know some people are catching up, so no pressure, of course, but for those that do want to do it, because I tried to think about like doing some current stuff, but then also, like things like movie nights or outside of 14 things, so there's something for everybody.
Oh yeah. Um, God, I'm trying to think of some other stuff that I think would be kind of fun for us to do that I have options for. I'd have to look at some options. I'll send you a list of it later.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know I have some stuff that would absolutely that as a group would be a blast to do. I know there was at one point
Yeah.
I talked about us doing a kind of like a D&D campaign, but it didn't really kind of get anywhere. And also with the fact that I'd be running 2 campaigns at the same time, and that would get confusing.
Oh yeah, I know. There's been a couple people who have been interested in it. Um, you guys would have to lead it. I'd be happy to join. I don't know much about it, so I'm happy to learn and then just kill Thunder. That would be great.
Just player kill Thunder the whole time, just like, okay, hold on. I don't know. I'll kind of play around with a few things because my wife, another couple friends of ours, Hadan, and my brother, we currently are in the middle of a campaign right now. We are kind of setting up for the next one, albeit we're still a long ways off for the next one to happen, but it'd be interesting. I do have a lot of source books and everything for D&D campaigns as well, so we
Hmm.
do have that as an option.
And I saw 14 also now has
It does.
um
It has a tabletop thing. And funny enough, let me send this to you over Discord real quick because I have to send this to you because
mhm.
this is incredible. Um, there's a place that Hidon, my wife, and I go to. We call it Nerd Store. It's just a hobby town. Uh, I saw this there, and I was to call me crazy if I didn't just buy this.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I haven't. I need to actually like sit down and fully look through it and everything because Hudon can confirm this. There is an actual document for online. It's not an official D&D document. It's something that somebody made that has translated Final Fantasy XIV classes into D&D. We have, however, we
Mm.
have actually used some in campaigns. In the last one I ran, somebody became a red mage, somebody became a reaper, and this one, Hodon's character is a gunbreaker, and my brother is a machinist.
Oh, that's
Actually, and
excellent.
even my wife is actually a Way of Ralgar monk right now. So, yeah, as Hidan says, I'm letting him be a gunbreaker. I'm waiting to see how much I'm going to regret it, but it hasn't gotten so bad yet. No,
She's
your
funny.
character in the last campaign was more broken than this one. Oh, I have a high AC. Oh, are you attacking me? Now it's higher. Get bent.
Well, I love all the suggestions. I think that's the thing I need help with also is just knowing what you guys want to do. Now that I finally have more free time, I'm gonna focus on getting more new people that are a good fit for us, right? Not just anybody, but people who are good fits together.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it. Like, I know that I don't
Twinsies.
uh participate a lot in like the chat and everything. It's just because I'm trying. I there's a lot that goes on this end. So I believe we actually mentioned this, which is the reason why we haven't done the podcast in so long. Uh, Surgery that has to be done upon my face.
Yes.
That hasn't happened yet
Really?
because the first place I went to, say, hold on, it's me, I'm anybody. The first place we went to was going to charge just for the removal of my teeth, like all of them. Just the removal. This is not including any form of dentures, nothing. Just removal was already going to be 3,500.
I think you shared that with me. And I was
I
like,
think I did.
I'm sorry, what?
Uh huh. Then that's not including any form of denture work. That's just doing that, which I'm sure that maybe there would have been denture work at some point. I don't know. We went to another place that was absolutely terrible. This
I
place,
remember that one.
yeah, I believe I mentioned this during my episode too. I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
Then we went to this next place, this current place, which is actually the place that has been kind of assisting me with getting this done. Has been super nice about everything. They've been willing to work with me on what I want to do. The impressions for my upper, because I have to start with my upper teeth, because my upper teeth are just beyond any form of repair. Like, I can still, obviously, they still function perfectly fine, but there's just a lot of decay to them that I feel bad about saying this, and I feel like it just makes me feel gross. There's a lot of decay to them, and that the upper ones need to go. So I have to get my upper teeth dealt with
Mm-hmm.
first. The impressions for the denture have been made. We just basically need to wait for the denture to come in, and then we can set up the appointment to do it. I won't be able to talk for a minute, so. Or, well, from what
But
they've
it's
said,
getting
it's like,
closer.
oh, it's getting very close. They said they should have the actual, denture by Halloween.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
very close. Um,
Good.
so their plan is essentially they're going to remove the teeth, smooth out the bone, and then basically put the denture that I had to make, which is the immediate denture, it's the healing one. They're going to basically put that in, and that's just going to be what I use for 4 to 6 months until I get the actual full denture made and pay for that one, which is going to be a fun one. None of this stuff is cheap, by the way.
Definitely not.
This is
Godspeed to you when it's time.
yeah. Should not be dealing with this before I'm 30, but here we are. I made the bed. I gotta lay in it. Any other fun stories?
I'm trying to think of any FC related stories. Oh,
Ooh.
I have one.
Oh boy.
Um, a few years ago, I did an escape room with some of our FC members. We went to, I think, LA, Los Angeles, and we did an in-person escape room. Um, it's going to be with one of the people that I'll surprise you with, that I'm nominating for the
Oh.
next podcast. And it was 14 themed for the escape room, right? So there was like a Gubu, there is an Ifrit's cave, there were, Moogles, Chocobos, all of that. And I think there was like f five of us, and the the rest of them, they're all like they're super smart. They're engineers, they're super brilliant. They're all still in the FC, but they're really smart, right? And then there's me. I'm like ditzy. I have nothing to do with engineering. And so they're figuring everything out before I ever have an idea of like what they're talking about, right? So I'm just kind of like following their lead, right? And they're like, "Oh, we go here, we figure it out." And it's just this big old conference room, but you get pieces of paper and you figure out the clues and you go to these different sections of this huge conference room and you
Right.
get the next clue. Um, and so I think there was only like a few minutes left and we were stuck on the last clue. And there were only, I think, like two other groups that had cleared the whole thing. And I kept telling them we should go back to Ifrit's cave because the one of the clues kept saying something about the cave, right? But it's funny because they're all engineers, so they have the same, not the same, but they had a very similar train of thought, right? And I kept telling them, why don't we just go look, right? And they kept just all thinking together. And I was like, let's just go look. But we all had to go together. So we went. And eventually that was the thing. So we went to Ifrit's cave, we got the last clue, and we were the last group, and we finished it. And we took like a picture. I still have the picture, it shows up on my memories. And it's funny, and I'll always remember this moment. And they're like, "That's why you're our FC leader. We should have just listened to you." And it was like a proud mommy moment because I was like, "Yeah, you guys should have just listened to me." And it was so funny. So whenever it shows up on their memories too, they're like, "Prim, look, this is the time that we realized we should have listened to you." And we like laugh and joke about it. So I think that was one of the funny stories. I don't have anything else I think that comes to my mind, but that was one of my
A
favorite memories.
a 14
It
themed
was
escape
great.
room just sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was great. What else did we do? I've gone to Distant Worlds concerts with Jolly years ago. What else? That wasn't really anything funny, but yeah. The escape room was like one of my like proudest moments because I'm like, yeah, yeah, you should have listened to me.
Just proud FC mom moment. Just yeah, what the heck? Like I was like, why didn't you listen to me?
It's like one of those moments where you like earn their respect, and then since then they just listen to me, and I'm like, oh, thank you.
I
I don't know
know,
why you trust me, but you do.
I know we've talked about it a little bit before. I know you and I have at least about trying to do like an FC meetup,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I understand that like for a
Yes.
lot of people that is challenging because a lot of people obviously can't. You know, we
Yes.
have a lot of FC members in various different states of the U.S. and
All over.
I say all over. Um, but I think it'd be awesome, but I understand that like that's a pipe dream for everybody to be able to afford to meet up for a time.
I would love that. Yeah, and I know you and I have talked about it at length about how we could make it happen. My worry, and I know you and I have talked about it, is I don't
Yeah,
want anyone to ever feel left out. And I know ultimately it's really just up to if anyone can go. But I know, and maybe this is just me being too personal with it. I just don't want anyone to feel like we're um, making anybody feel left out. But who knows? Never say never, right?
right.
Maybe an opportunity will come up. I know whenever there's like Fan Fest, that's always a great opportunity for people to try and meet up. Even if we don't attend Fan Fest, right? We could always look at that. So
Oh yeah,
there are hopefully chances in the future for people that do want to, who feel comfortable, um, that we could think about. Or we could all just go to Thunder's house. And he's a teacher, right? So he can just take care of all of us, right, Thunder? I was
oh
playing an ad. He
this,
probably didn't even hear all that,
oh
huh?
no. Oh. Let me know when the ad's done. We'll have to do that bit again. Uh, oh, that's great.
Just
Oh,
surprise him. You don't have to get his permission. Just tell him it's going to happen. It's his
it's
responsibility.
happening. Uh, yeah, and even as Hadan said in the chat, like like him and I getting the same day off work is almost an inconceivable fact.
I know.
Like it's insane. Like our schedule, if it wouldn't be so bad if we were able to get another person to help us out, but unfortunately, with corporate's ruling, we can't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just ridiculous. Uh,
Yeah.
I won't go into it because obviously that's work related things that I don't want to kind of bring up. Uh,
Like adulting is hard, but then
adulting.
throw in the mix of, like you said, corporations and obligations, and it just makes everything complicated.
Oh
But
yeah,
who knows? The stars may align, but I think if we find a good opportunity and, you know, we can invite people, whoever wants to go, then it can happen. Never say never.
right.
So,
But we'll still
do you
definitely have
hear
to show
that,
up to.
Thunder? We're going
Well,
to your house,
yeah, we'll have to show up.
2025.
2025 party at Thunder's house.
Barbecue at Thunder's house, Texas style.
Oh hell yeah. The hell you are. Come on, buddy. It'll
He
be
says
funny.
that. No, he says that, but he would let us, wouldn't she, Thunder?
I'm waiting for the giant. No. Sen and Sakura to be the first ones to show up. I'll
Thank
think
you.
about it. All right,
Exactly.
that's we can make something work eventually.
That's a yes. That translates to yes. Just make the event for it now in Discord, Thunder, so people can just sign up now.
That's a no. Come on, Adon, join us.
I've just learned from experience to do the understand and translate the opposite of what Thunder's saying. So when he says no, it means yes. So he's basically on board with it. Thanks, Thunder.
And I talk about media about seeing if you want to meet up. That's true. Uh, shall we get to the wrapping this up piece of it? Shall we?
Sure. Yes.
Because you and we could talk about a whole bunch of stuff for hours on end. I'm sure.
I know. We'll just bore everybody.
So this next part, this is a new part to this. This was brought by Hadan, and this is going to be a staple in ones in podcast episodes to come.
Hmm.
If you were to pick a place, say that you were retiring from 14, or that you were like the game servers are closing down, where would your last area? Where would you basically log yourself out for the last time?
I love this question. Thank you for recommending it, Hudan. If I had, if I was going to retire or servers were shutting down, I'm torn between two, so I'll give you both options. One would be the FC house because it's always been home. So I would log out there. The other would be, and I don't think this is a spoiler, so I think I'll mention it. It's the in room in Dawn Trail, because I would love to retire someplace like that in real life because it's gorgeous. So that would be like goals. So one of those two places, I would love to be my last logout spot.
I can agree to that because not the Dawn Trail one because I haven't gone through Dawn Trail yet.
Hmm.
The FC house is absolutely what one of mine would be because this place it's home. And we went over that in my episode how I've always felt like the FC is basically just an extended family that I could turn to if I ever needed help.
Yeah.
Um, the the other one that Huda and I have talked about it a couple times, and I know where he would end up, but I'll save that for his episode whenever he gets picked. Uh, the FC house would be mine, and the other one, I've got a couple options. One, I'd probably have to say one of them being Ultima Thule
I love it. I know, I was thinking about that too. It's very fitting.
in the flower field,
Mm,
like
gorgeous.
just to put it there, just like yeah. I agree. I agree with that one because I know that one might come up at a later point. Uh,
Hmm.
so now I'm curious because I asked, but you didn't tell me because I didn't want you to tell me until now. Who
Yes.
is the nomination for the next episode?
So I am really excited for you to get to know him, for all of you to get to know him. But my nomination is Makana, who is one of my officers. He has been in the FC for a very long time. He is also one of the brilliant engineers who was at the escape room, who trusted in me. And I am really excited for you guys to get to know him. He's somebody who, if anything, knock on wood, ever happened to me and I could no longer take care of the FC, this wasn't available, more wasn't available, I know the FC is in good hands because he would. So I look forward for you guys to get to know him. He also played 11, if I remember right. But he's a really good guy. He is more on the quieter side, but he's good people. So he's my nomination. He did accept,
So
so I'm
I will be reaching out to
excited.
I'll be reaching out to Makana after this then.
Yes, and I did let him know. that you'll reach out to him and plan and schedule and give him uh, all the info and go
Oh
from
yeah.
there.
I'm actually curious to know. With the very brief interactions I've had with Makana, he's always seemed like a nice guy. Um, so we've we've reached the end of your episode, and I this has been an amazing episode. I really thank you for taking the time to do this, Prim.
Oh, thank you for having me. I hope it has been. I just appreciate being able to spend time with all of you guys. Thank you for sticking it out with me.
Well, yeah, I mean, and and I know that we've had a little bit of difficulty with the scheduling and everything, but that's because everything was so busy on your end with having to take this
Hmm.
test. And I know that I brought it up like, okay, well, would you mind doing Hadan's out the way? And he said, no, keep it the way it is.
Hmm.
And I appreciate that with you too, buddy. I know you're listening. Uh, he's gonna come after me on Monday. It's okay. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong. Um, so shameless plug time. For shame, I know. I'm sorry. It's part of my job. The reason why I have not been so very active on my account lately, not only because with just work and everything, and also kind of my efforts being on other games, is because on Tuesdays, Sen, Sakura, Hodon, and myself have been replaying Final Fantasy XIV on alt accounts.
I love that.
So
Tell me about your experience.
we are the I don't know what eventually we're going to start like a FC with just the four of us. We are all, hilariously enough, we are all female characters. I am Leliana Rakaran. I am a Femme Hrothgar Marauder turned warrior.
Beautiful.
Hudan is, I'm trying to remember the name. I gotta look. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Don't hurt me. Where are my playlists? Give me my playlists. Damn you. I have it actually written down too, which is great. Come on. I hope I wasn't like basically like just let me. My phone is being stupid. Yep. So we have Sen's character, who is Kabal Salil, a femro who is mains as a dragoon, but also has ninja and monk. Sakura's character, Eron Yvain, who is a femme al-ra, white mage. And as Hadan put in chat, he is Rena Golmar, a femme Viera, that is a dragoon. We started the party with two dragoons.
Great choices.
So, we're just starting the Titan arc right now. Like,
Oh, how fun.
so we have made it through the Sylph arc. We're getting ready to do basically the Costa del Sol arc, which leads into Titan. So, from what we've played so far, and yes, also, it is hilarious as to how absolutely small Sakura's character is to everyone else. Like,
She's
I will.
just a baby.
That's an understatement. Let me send you the playlist. The thumbnail to this playlist actually shows like all four of us in terms of like our characters as of right before Satasha, because we met up right before Satasha, which is when we started the stream series. You could tell how absolutely small she is. She is like, she is to me, to her entire. I think she put like the minimum slider for the femme aura.
Oh,
I
she's
don't.
so petite.
Uh-huh. It's great.
Yeah, the rest of you just tower over her.
Especially Cabal. Cabal is enormous. And Cabal's the tallest, then it goes to Rena, then me, and and then Aeon. It's so. We've been having a good time though. We film it on Tuesdays. It goes up probably about Thursday. I'm trying to think what else. My train of thought just derailed hard. Yeah, so that's why I haven't really been too terribly active. I want to eventually get more active and everything. My brain has just been focused on wanting to platinum Final Fantasy VI.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been playing the absolute hell out of Hoyoverse's latest games on the Zone Zero. It is a blast. I have been enjoying the absolute hell out of it. But that's it, yeah. So tune in on Tuesdays. We try to start at about 6:30 Central Time. So I know for you, Prim, that would be. Oh yeah, I'll get there. Don't worry. So on Tuesdays we do the Final Fantasy alt accounts. That's at 6:30. Most of the streams start at about 6:30, or give or take. Sometimes they start at 7. This is all Central Time, so obviously time zones according to whenever. Wednesday, normally I try to stream Zenless Zone Zero in the afternoon. Sometimes it doesn't work, or sometimes I just want to take the afternoon to relax. Wednesday nights is we have been Hudan and I have been playing the newest Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom, and
Very fun.
it is. The tagline of the entire thing is, "What do I do?" It's hilarious. Thursday, and so Thursday is also I try to do Zenless Zone Zero in the afternoon. Sometimes again that doesn't play out that way, or I just want to take the day to relax. Or the other tagline for the Echoes of Wisdom streams is, "I did it." To also note is that it's Hudan that is the one that is playing. I am not. I'm just there for co-commentary, and it's great.
Excellent.
On Wednesday, so on Thursdays it's Zenless Zone Zero in the afternoons, and then my wife plays Disney's Dreamlight Valley on Thursday nights. She also plays it on Friday nights as well. Saturdays is generally Zenless Zone Zero, but because I'm almost caught up with the story and everything, that series is going to come to an end until, obviously, the game updates to add more to the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of... And then she also does Dreamlight Valley on Sundays. And then we're off on Mondays, because Monday is our D&D night. And then it just kind of repeats. So we are live most of the time at about 6:30 in Central Standard Time. Again, playing time zones accordingly. If you want to tune in, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Stream our D&D sessions, do it. There's a plan for that, but that's not with this one. That's later. Because it's just chaos incarnate. Which I could tell some very fun D&D stories, but we're at the end of this. So, any closing thoughts that you have, Prim?
Just thank you for doing this. I really enjoy getting to, of course, being able to participate, but also getting to know everyone that's on here and also being able to interact with everyone. And thank you for letting me have my time. This is very fun. And I look forward to next time and hearing Makana.
I can't wait to actually talk to Makan, because I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I do need to add this in on the last part of that too. The rule that I have with the thumbnails for the episodes is, if you want, send a screenshot to me through Discord or through PlayStation, whichever way you want to do it, of your character in the best way that you want to basically capture how your character is, if it reflects you, or just however you want to capture your character in the best way.
Oh my gosh, I have so many screenshots. Perfect. I will send you one.
whichever one you want, and that will be the thumbnail. So originally it was going to be obviously the thumbnail with Thunder Eaters hasn't changed. He hasn't gotten back to me about that one yet. So it's, I'm just
Unacceptable.
I haven't really been hounding him for it, to be completely fair, either. So, but all the thumbnails I want to be kind of personalized to obviously the guest. So you're good, Thunder. I'm not in a massive rush for it. Clearly,
no, unacceptable.
Or we could just keep yours, buddy. It's actually pretty funny.
Can I send one on his behalf?
Is it a funny one?
I think that's fair.
Oh, no.
Yeah, can I take a picture of him?
I mean, if you want to.
I think that would be great.
Just Thunder, what?
I'll take a picture of you and send it as your thumbnail.
Why? I'm with him. Why do you have pictures of me?
I don't have pictures of you. I'm gonna take one of you and send it as your thumbnail because you took too long. The window has passed.
Did it really pass if it was never closed to begin with?
Yes, I'm making an executive decision.
Okay, all right. You're the boss. Mom's putting the foot down. We gotta listen. All right. Mine is upsetting. It's true. I'm in danger.
Yes.
It's true. Fear. But again, Prem, thank you so much for joining us. I know it was a bit of a try to figure out time and everything, but now knowing what you went through, I'm glad we waited.
Thank you, and thank you for being patient. Thank you for all of this. It was so fun. I really appreciate it.
I will get a hold of Makana to figure out when we want to do his.
Sounds good.
It might, depending on obviously the surgery and everything, it might be a while before that happens. But okay, we'll figure it out. It'll be fun. There is a couple things I do want to. There is something I thought of that I did want to ask you, but I'll ask you off stream.
Okay.
If anybody has anything that they want to talk about in regards to the FC or just needing to reach out to somebody to talk to, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to Prim. Feel free to reach out to anybody that... the FC is mostly open about anything with helping one another or just anybody in general.
Yes.
Again, as you mentioned early on, and as I mentioned in my episode, feel free to reach out because we're always here. I mean, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So, we will be back with stream with probably Dreamlight Valley tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then I will see you guys Tuesday, or at least Hudan, Sen, and Sakura and I will see you guys Tuesday with the alt account stream. Other than that, I have nothing else. This has been the beginning of Season 2 of the Enkindled podcast. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining and taking the time to listen. Prem, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you had such a great time. Thank you again, everybody. We will see you hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, Tuesday. Until then, I have been your host. And signing off. And we'll see you guys later.